Hey guys, well, a few projects going on today on the old Dodge here. Show you what I'm up to. This truck never came with a temperature gauge. It just had a light here, and I never have seen it come on. It doesn't even come on when you start the engine up. It's normally they'll come on as a bulb check. So I had a temperature gauge laying around that I had on another project, so I went ahead and put that in. I just put it in over here. Here it is. And let me get the glare off there a little bit, maybe. Yep. And as you can see, it's just running. It's been sitting there idling about 15 minutes or so, and it's running right at about 185 degrees at idle. So that's pretty good. Don't have any problem with that. I just put it in that blank little spot right there. Just went right in. It's a mechanical gauge. I'll show you where it hooks to. I just put it in right out here. I put it in this unused. There's a something for that lean burn within this spot right here. So I just went ahead and just put it in right here. And it worked perfectly. And I left the temperature light here. This is it, the wire for it. I just left it in there. That's just kind of a, you know, doesn't hurt to have a light and a gauge, but where that gauge is at, I'm sure I'll be looking right at it. I just make sure to run it, you know, out of the way of anything. Keep it off the exhaust manifold, of course. Don't want it to do that, you know. Tied it up so it doesn't get on the starter. So that's about all it is to that. That's a real simple, easy installation. I tell you, I don't like a vehicle that does not have a temperature gauge, because I've had several vehicles that had a light and I never saw the light, but after I put a gauge in there, it turned out they were almost overheating, like 220 degrees. So that's not good. I don't know why they ever came up with the idea that people didn't need a gauge to look at, but it's not for me. You know, I had a acquaintance of mine one time. He had a truck. It was some kind of a Chevy truck, and he'd swapped engines in it, put a new engine in it, and that idiot overheated that thing like 3 or 4 times because he refused to put a temperature gauge on it. His truck had a gauge on it, but the whole problem was that the engine that he put in there was an older model engine, so the sending unit from the engine that was originally in that truck would not work on that engine. He had to have a different. That's all it was to it, though. Just had to go buy a different sending unit. So he was just using the sending unit that was in the replacement engine, which was for a light, which those don't work. They won't work on the gauge. They're totally different. So, you know, that thing, it boiled over 3 or 4 times. I don't know if he hurt the engine or not, but you talk about stupid. I mean, really, not go buy a $10 sending unit for a new engine. Of course, that wasn't the only thing he did. He was he got an argument with people too about that. He said, you know, as long as you have a properly functioning cooling system, you don't need to worry about a gauge. And I thought to myself, you idiot. I said, I mean, I'm not trying to call people names, but seriously, that's why you have a gauge, to know if it's properly functioning. Why would you want to sit there and just wait, you know, wait until it's overheated and 280 degrees or whatever, and potentially ruin your engine? I mean, that's ridiculous. That's beyond ridiculous. But anyway, that was his theory, and I think he doesn't have the truck anymore, or it finally blew up or something. I don't know. He was a piece of work, let me tell you. So I got some other things going too. I'm going to work on these horns now, so I'll show you that in a little bit. Have a good one.